Starting a new scrapbook tonight, girlies. Starting a new scrapbook. Little boy says, "How wonderful."
I said you'll have fun, and I won't disappoint you.
Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. And tonight we're celebrating that little niche of collecting that we all have to face, and that's where you put your merch. Not all the time does it go on the shelf. Not all the time is it framed on the wall. Sometimes you have to do a little scrapbooking, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Another scrapbook started, combined, little Phantom of the Park fun. But first, I would like to thank our buddy Glenn, who sent in a postcard remembering Ace and the passing of Ace and how that hit us all. And I would like to take this moment to showcase Glenn and also showcase any other viewer, Kiss fan out there who is creating. This is the stuff I love. Creativity. You know, in today's world, AI's being shoved down our throat and everyone's just staring at a screen. People got to create. People got to have imaginations. And Glenn has an imagination, and Glenn creates. Taking albums and making postcards out of them. How freaking cool is that? I love that. And Glenn, thank you so much. You've blessed me with so many of these postcards. I love these, and this was a wonderful tribute to Ace and a wonderful example of Kiss fans being creative, and I love that. And leave that in the comments. Once again, anything you're facing in life, good, bad, indifferent, Kiss fan fun, being creative, leave those in the comments. Let's support each other, help each other, and have fun on this channel every Friday night. Let's HOTFACE. My HOTFACE for tonight, Friday night. I have taken my first trip down the Kiss jewelry rabbit hole. Never ever in my life, as a Kiss fan, I don't consider buckles jewelry. I have never went down the jewelry path. From the 77 a coin pins, to the solo merch necklaces, to the jewelry of the stars jewelry that, you know, they had everyone from the Bee Gees to Battlestar Galactica to Superman to Kiss, and a lot of very cool Kiss jewelry. But I've never gone down that rabbit hole. My buddy FL Dog has a few times and has some very super cool stuff, but I've just always been, I don't know, it's like potato chips. You know, you get one, you want them all. And I've always feared just having one piece of jewelry, because I know me. I know I'm gonna want more, and then you're just down an endless rabbit hole. But I'm down that endless rabbit hole now. That's my HOTFACE this week, and we'll see where it goes. It's gonna be a fun rabbit hole. Again, a dangerous rabbit hole. Not dangerous, but a different tier rabbit hole than I'm used to. I think like rabbit holes in fandom, you kind of progress. You know, you start with records, posters, VHS, albums, foreign pressings, army kits, iron-ons. Then you get to stuff like jewelry, and that's where I'm at, and never ends, but it's fun as hell. Leave your HOTFACE below, and let's wax. And I just realized, putting away that magazine, why I said it's scary. And it's because I think for the last couple of years, I've been kind of like, oh, I'm only going to collect Dynasty, and that's it. And I kind of stayed true to that for a while. And then I went down a poster rabbit hole, and I was like, I'm only going to do posters. And now I feel like I'm just open to anything Kiss, which I've always been. but I usually like focused on something. I don't know, it just kind of feels weird because you're just kind of anywhere and everywhere. But again, that's the fun of all of this. And another rabbit hole I just kind of found myself in, and I've always been in love with this rabbit hole. It's Kiss meets Phantom of the Park. Who is not in love with that? Name me a Kiss fan who doesn't love Phantom of the Park, and I'll tell you they're a liar. Because to me, Phantom is the be-all, end-all of Kiss. It was when, I always say I loved the merch era because Kiss jumped from the record shelves to the toy shelves. But Phantom, they jumped from the toy shelves to your television and became the Incredible Hulk. Became the $6 Million Man. It was that they broke through the glass roof of pop culture at that point. They were on your TV screens. They were comic book heroes in print. Now they were action sci-fi heroes on your television. And that was badass. And I love anything Phantom. But collecting Phantom is difficult. Essentially, because it's a movie, you collect the movies. And so the early 90s, gotta love Kmart, Good Time Home Video. The Good Time Home Video from the rental store in Clamshell, UK VHS, that I still have the tape stuck in a VCR. I did find the VCR though, when moving all the stuff from the basement. It's there, tape's still inside. The Swedish VHS, thanks to my buddy Nicholas. Thank you so much for this, I love this. And then something to hang, which I believe this is the Spanish poster, don't quote me. Man, everything's in boxes, it's very hard. But this is something to hang the Phantom of the Park movie poster, Attack de los Fantasmas. That's a lot of fun. One of these days we're gonna crawl out of these boxes and we're actually gonna have some fun. However, Phantom of the Park, what do you do with other Phantom of the Park collectibles you have that don't go on the wall, that don't go in the VCR, that don't go on the shelf? How do you collect Phantom of the Park without spending an arm and a leg? And I have learned in the past, a good way to do that is collect Magic Mountain items. Phantom of the Park was filmed at Magic Mountain. A lot of the Magic Mountain sets were backdrops or actual set pieces in Phantom of the Park. And so we're going to take a look at that tonight in the scrapbook. But what led us to this scrapbook are some very cool Phantom of the Park press photos. Let's take a look at these. These are fun. These are Phantom of the Park press photos, and these are super freaking cool. The copyrights at the bottom, a coin, the press office, ATI, and Casablanca. That picture of Ace holding the skull from the Chamber of Thrills, Peter in his robe, I believe he's in his robe, yes. Gene, and then Paul. Obviously, looks like he's doing a scene there, but man, that's a lot of fun. Here's another of the band in front of the Colossus, which we will talk about when we look at the scrapbook here in a minute. And then the last one of the band in Devereaux's lab with the Rocksteady and Casablanca logos with the Kiss logo. That's super fun. That almost looks like they're doing the scene where they're trying to get the talisman, but they aren't up on that pedestal. So I don't think it's from that scene. I think this is just a press photo of the band on that set. Pardon me for filming this at the stove. Is the only good place I could get some kind of good light in here. But this is what we're talking about tonight, is scrapbooking. And a couple weeks ago I mentioned I started a sticker scrapbook, which I'm now going to make a sticker / Phantom of the Park print media scrapbook. But here we go. First off, stickers, of course, and I'll just kind of redo these. Talked about them previously, but this is the 1980 diamond print book label. Those are a lot of fun. I always talk about the childhood fun of Kiss. You don't get any more childhood fun than a book label for elementary school or primary school, as they would probably say in Australia. The other set of the diamond print book label, the diamond print prism sticker. My God, beautiful. Diamond print Dynasty poses with Peter. Need to get the Eric one. another diamond print, Dynasty era, and then the Italian prism stickers, which are glorious. And then we get into Phantom print media. This is a photo that was used by the company that made the snake couch. They used this publicity still from Phantom of the Park. You can see a lighting truss in the picture, but this is the set of Kiss's house in Phantom of the Park. That snake couch that Sam throws, they used this photo in their catalog, and what this was accompanied by was another photo of the snake couch for sale to show people what the snake couch was like and all the different configurations it could go in. Peter is about to say, we're just ordinary human beings, and there you go. Pretty cool that that company used that photo with one of their own photos to sell those couches. Another cool like press photo behind the scenes. This would have been when Calvin Richards, there in the khaki pants, showed up with the guards to confront Kiss.
It was him, or his twin.
That's how crowded that set was in real life. The sidewalk all watered, and that's how crowded that set was. Like, you watch it, I love movie making, because you watch a scene, you know, in a movie and you think, like, oh, it's just the actors. No, it's all these people standing on ladders, sweating, pissed off, tired of hanging around for Kiss to learn their lines. And then another one from my buddy FL Dog. This is an awesome photo of Gene. Obviously a press photo, but how cool is that? Gene looks badass in that photo, and I absolutely love this. Always thought about framing it, but I'm glad now I'm doing the Phantom scrapbook. And now we go to what I was just mentioning. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg to collect Phantom. You can purchase Magic Mountain Fun, the postcard of the Sky Tower.
Way underground.
And next to the Sky Tower is Devereaux's lab. So essentially, you have kind of a postcard of Devereaux's lab, the Magic Pagoda. And then on the back, it's just detailing the Sky Tower. But there is one of the Magic Mountain mascots that was dancing around when Calvin is telling Sneed to control himself. Simmer down, Sneed.
A riot? Don't be ridiculous. High-spirited kids, that's what I see.
And next, we have a Magic Mountain brochure that is pretty cool because this brochure is detailing opening spring of '78 Magic Mountain's Colossus. And of course, we all know this is the ride that Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley, Peter Criss, Paul Stanley fight the mechanical apes on, as well as the Griswold family rode this ride with John Candy. But I love the fact, opening spring of '78, we know for a fact this ride was not functioning in May of '78 when Kiss filmed Phantom of the Park. So there you go. Some ways to collect Phantom of the Park without it being Phantom of the Park and without breaking your bank account. And then lastly, a Magic Mountain postcard of the Great American Revolution that we all know Sam and Melissa got a loving embrace on. And then Sam had to check out what was going on. There's something strange going on. Sam? Do you have to go to work now? Shut up, Melissa. Leave the man alone. You did no good helping to find him. Kiss found him. But there you go. Some Phantom of the Park fun. And so those are the newest additions to the Phantom of the Park print media scrapbook. Got my postcards in there, and now my press photos. Ending with the cool shot of Kiss in front of the Colossus. What comes next? God only knows. And what comes next for you, girlies? More naps. Thank you for hanging with us tonight. and waxing a little rock and roll nostalgia with us here in the Wax Night House. Be good to your babies. Spay, neuter, microchip. Take care, be safe. We will talk to you soon.